WCBI News at 5 starts now.
Investigators make an arrest in connection to the murder of an Ole Miss student. Thanks for joining us tonight at 5. 22-year-old Brendan Thiesfeld is of Fort Worth. He's the man charged with murder. Alexandria Ali Costel is of St. Louis. She was found dead over the weekend. Thiesfeld made his first appearance in Lafayette County Circuit Court this morning. Costel's body was found in Harmontown Saturday by a deputy on routine patrol. The Lafayette County Sheriff's Department released a statement that there was apparent foul play. Our news partner WLBT reports she was found with 8 gunshot wounds. Thiesfeld will remain in custody until a bond hearing is set. The online news site HottieToddy.com reports that Thiesfeld was a student in the School of Business Administration at the University of Mississippi. Says that Thiesfeld has been suspended from the university. Costel was majoring in marketing in the business school at the university there in Mississippi. Well, the Ole Miss student's death has left the entire town of Oxford in shock, wondering how something like this could happen in their small community. They tell us Oxford is usually a peaceful town, but when the news broke, it left many people shaken up, as you can imagine. The Lafayette County Sheriff's Department has released very few details about the investigation, leaving many wondering what happened to the St. Louis native that was taking summer courses there on campus. But those who we did speak with today are hopeful Costel's family can find comfort that an arrest has been made in the case.
Start the process for justice, I guess, for the family. I'm sure they're, get some, I don't know if you can get closure from that, but some kind of peace, maybe. I don't know.
I was actually kind of relieved and glad that the family could at least get some sort of sense of, closure about the situation. So, it's a good thing that they did make an arrest. So.
An absolutely heartbreaking case. Now, as we did mention, Thiesfeld will remain in custody until a bond hearing is set. Now, his dad released a statement earlier claiming his son's innocence. We'll have more on this story coming up tonight on WCBI News at 6. The search is on tonight for a Mississippi Department of Corrections escapee. Inmate Corey Aldred took off this afternoon from a community work detail on Highway 42 just west of Richton. That's according to investigators. MDOC says that he's a nonviolent offender, but you're not asked to not approach him. If you have any information, call police. An argument between a boyfriend and girlfriend along with a woman's son ends with a man being stabbed. 56-year-old Stephen Riley is charged with aggravated assault. Clay County Sheriff Eddie Scott says the stabbing happened on West Hazelwood Road about 11:30 last night. The victim was stabbed several times, but Scott described his injuries as non-life-threatening. Bond for Riley has not yet been set. Former Pickens County Sheriff David Abston pleads guilty to 2 federal charges today. Abston was accused of scamming a food bank and church and pocketing leftover money meant for feeding inmates. Initially, he faced 9 charges. He pled guilty to 1 count of wire fraud and 1 count of filing a false return. The other charges have since been dropped. Prosecutors say Abston defrauded a food bank and church to pocket thousands under a law that let state sheriffs profit from feeding prisoners. Abston was the sheriff in Pickens County for more than 3 decades. He could face up to 20 years in prison, but prosecutors say they'll recommend a reduction because he accepted responsibility and agreed to pay $51,280 in restitution. There are about 130 sex offenders in Lowndes County which are required to register with the county every 90 days. In addition to registration, sex offenders in the state have 17 additional laws they must follow daily. Those laws include things like alerting neighboring counties and states when they plan to travel, and there's even a new law that affects where a sex offender or what they can do or where they can go during a weather emergency. If they were to break even one of those laws, investigators tell us they could face consequences.
Any violation of these 17 rules could result in a 5-year maximum sentence in the Department of Corrections. If they're going to be anywhere for a period of 7 or more consecutive days and they're not going to be at their registered address, then we need to know where they're going to be.
We'll have more details on those 17 laws coming up tonight at 6. In less than a minute, about $1,600 was loaded into the back of a Chevy Tahoe after a break-in. Check this video out. It's caught on surveillance video from the Phoebe One Stop. You can see someone throw a rock through the front door of that store. This all happened around 1:30 this morning. Within seconds, two people are getting inside, dragging an ATM out of the door and into the back of that SUV. Clay County Sheriff Eddie Scott says the vehicle left going south on Highway 389 toward Oktibbeha County. The thieves wore masks, as you see there, and hats covering up their faces, along with dark clothing. If you have any information, you're asked to call Golden Triangle Crime Stoppers. Time now to get a first look at our forecast. We'll send things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. Hey there, Keith.
Well, Scott, what a great afternoon we have going to live view in downtown Columbus. Friendly clouds, low humidity, comfortable temperatures in the low 80s. No showers, no storms anywhere near our neck of the woods. We'll take it. Winds from the north at about 10 to 20 with some gusts up to about 25 today. So it has been breezy, but those northerly winds keeping the showers and storms down here along the coast. Look at that. That's what we were dealing with yesterday at this time. But right now we have no worries for this evening. Your Tuesday evening, it looks great. Upper 70s here at 7 o'clock, low 70s by 9, upper 60s by 11. Lows tonight down into the low 60s, if you can believe this. Some of you may actually get into the upper 50s, well below average, but we'll take it. Your full forecast is coming out.
Well, former special counsel Robert Mueller is scheduled to testify for about 5 hours tomorrow in a much-anticipated hearing before two congressional committees about his report on Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election. Nicole Killian has more details from Capitol Hill.
The Trump administration is directing former special counsel Robert Mueller to limit what he testifies about on Capitol Hill tomorrow. The Justice Department sent Mueller a letter last night giving him strict instructions to stick to the boundaries of his report, and it says he cannot discuss the conduct of uncharged third parties beyond what's already in the report. The letter calls the testimony unnecessary. President Trump continues to call Mueller's investigation a phony witch hunt.
I saw Mueller has testified tomorrow again. How many times? Two and a half years. There's nothing here. There's no obstruction.
Democrats plan to highlight incidents in the Mueller report that they say show obstruction of justice.
There was sufficient evidence to prove the crime of obstruction. That's clear to me as a prosecutor. It's why more than 1,000 other prosecutors have said if this were their case, if he wasn't the president, any other person would be indicted.
Democratic sources say they don't expect a lot of new revelations to come out of tomorrow's hearing, but Democrats are banking on a lot of viewers who haven't read the report.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi sent a 6-page memo to House Democrats outlining findings of the Mueller report.
The whole truth and nothing but truth, so you got it.
Ahead of the hearing, FBI Director Christopher Wray testified on Capitol Hill, where Mueller's report was a hot topic.
There was an awful amount of work done by a huge team of professionals that resulted in a 450-something page report.
Director Wray declined to delve too far into the report's findings ahead of tomorrow's hearing. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Both Democrats and Republicans are planning a social media blitz during tomorrow's hearing to put out their own spin. CBS will provide a special report of those hearings with CBS Evening News anchor and managing editor Nora O'Donnell leading that coverage starting at 8:15 a.m. Eastern Time. Breaking news just into our newsroom. Multiple sources tell us that an arrest has been made in the shooting death of a Columbus teenager. Erica White was shot outside the Community Activity Center at Probst Park this past Saturday night. A birthday party was being held at the time. Sources tell us that White was an innocent bystander when gunfire rang out after an argument broke out. The arrest was made within the past hour. We have calls into the Columbus police and expect more information soon. Tonight, you will have the chance to see where all three Republican candidates for governor stand. Lieutenant Governor Tate Reeves, former Supreme Court Justice Bill Waller Jr., and State Representative Robert Foster face off tonight in a live debate. You can watch it right here on WCBI. This will be the first time all three candidates have been on stage together. The debate starts at 7 o'clock. Primary elections are on August 6th. A new state-of-the-art justice complex is opening up this fall in Clay County. For the first time, our cameras are getting an inside look at the 27,000 square foot building. The new complex is at the old Kroger building and will have 3 courtrooms inside. One of those courtrooms can seat 115 people. Justice Court will be able to seat 150. Sheriff Eddie Scott says security in the new facility is something else that will be better to make sure that employees and visitors are safe.
I'm excited for the security. The court security is a major concern. As sheriff, I'm in charge of courthouse security, and it's hard to do when the conditions we've been having to work in, but we've managed to get it done. But this is going to make it a lot easier. I think the public's going to notice that when they come in.
An open house will happen sometime in August. Now, the first court hearing will take place in October. The cost of the new facility was $2.7 million, actually a little cheaper than what they projected it to be. Throughout the U.S., over 6 million young people, they've joined the 4-H Club, participating in community projects. Today, several groups throughout the state came together for a livestock showcase. Parents say this is a huge benefit for the youth by providing a diverse set of skills and hands-on projects. Club members are given service assignments, a mentor, and leadership opportunities. Mississippi State Extension of 4-H Club, Trent Burnett, says it helps prepare kids into adulthood.
In today's world, a young person needs a project or an activity, and a lot of free time with our adolescents and our teenagers is just not good. Someone wandering around looking for something to do, and by having some type of 4-H project, like I said, whether that be an animal project or one of our many other projects, it gives them something to do that they desire and want to learn and participate in.
Kids at the 4-H Club will participate in a livestock and pig showcase today and tomorrow. Volunteers are building beds for kids in North Mississippi. We go to the construction site next on WCBI News at 5.